Only 14. Mu naught I divided by 2 pi r. Outside it is exactly same. Inside, if we consider a loop, at any point inside it is going to be 0, because inside, if you consider a loop, no current passes through that loop. The whole current is through the wall only, through the circumference. At any point inside, magnetic field will be 0. So this was the second case that we did. Aman, you're getting it?
Yes,
अमन
sir.
समझ आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. हाँ, आ रहा है.
The magnetic field is, sorry, current is through the surface only. Inside, if we consider a loop, there is no current passing through the loop. So there will not be any magnetic field inside a hollow cylinder. Inside it is 0, outside is inversely proportional to R. Left side also, sorry, it is inside 0.
Sir,
Inside
inside
is,
zero
this was
क्यों
for
है?
a solid.
करंट नहीं है ना इसलिए.
उस लूप में से करंट नहीं है इसलिए यस, इनसाइड 0 एंड आउटसाइड इट इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल. उस लूप में से कोई करंट पास नहीं हो रही, करंट बाहर सरफेस से पास हो रही है, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज 0. Next was magnetic field to a solid, infinitely long solid cylinder.
तो आप एक बार पिछली साइड के बस ग्राफ दिखा सकते हो.
Inside is 0, outside is inversely proportional to R.
ओके सर.
Magnetic field due to infinitely long solid cylinder. Solid cylinder में the current is distributed uniformly on this whole surface. Same current I is distributed uniformly on the entire surface. Total current is I, total area is pi r square. So we can calculate the current density. Current density on the surface is I by pi r square. Current density we will use to find the, so बाहर किसी point पे again it will be like a circular loop. The total magnetic field at any point outside will be same as that of wires. Just like it was in electric field, similarly it is in magnetic field also. It doesn't matter whether it is a hollow sphere or solid sphere, or it is a point at center. The electric field formula is same. Similarly, it doesn't matter it is a single wire, hollow cylindrical wire, or solid cylindrical wire. Magnetic field at every point outside is same, mu naught I by 2 pi r. Mu naught I by 2 pi r. Inside when we calculate, then it is we have to choose a loop which is passing through the inside or less than equal to capital R. So when we choose a loop which is passing through inside, there is some current passing, not all of it. There will be some amount of current passing through it, and let's say it is I dash. Integration of V inside dot dl is equal to mu naught into I dash. I dash is the current passing through this. V inside dl integration will be 2 pi r is equal to mu naught. I dash will become current density into area. And through this area, the current that is coming out is J into pi r square. B inside, so 2 pi r or there's a pi r square that get cancelled. Magnetic field due to a solid cylinder at a point inside. It will become mu naught J into R by 2. Substitute the value of J. J will be I by pi capital R square into small r. Magnetic field inside will be directly proportional to R. Outside will be inversely proportional to R. And B versus R graph, inside is straight line, outside is again rectangular hyperbola. So ये cases हमने last class में कर रखे थे वैसे. Solid, hollow, or a single wire. All three cases, outside formula is same. Inside hollow it will be 0. Inside solid it will be directly proportional to small r.
सर इसके और लास्ट जो हमने हॉलो सिलेंडर वाला करा था डिफरेंस क्या है मतलब केस में ये
बेटा
इनसाइड
hollow में अंदर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड 0 होती है. hollow में केवल सरफेस से करंट जा रही है. hollow is inside magnetic field due to hollow cylinder is 0. In solid cylinder not 0 inside. बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है.
यस सर
And there are two more cases in which we can apply these Ampere's law. But to apply, first we have to convince that can we apply or not. What is the condition under which we can apply the Ampere's law? It has to be a symmetrical. It has to be a symmetrical magnetic field and a symmetrical region. So we consider a symmetrical loop. What is a solenoid? Solenoid is nothing but a hollow cylindrical tube. It is a hollow cylindrical tube over which the insulated copper wires or insulated wires are closely wound. A hollow cylindrical tube over which the insulated wires are very closely wound. अगर इसी के अंदर हमें कुछ आयरन कोर रख देते हैं, आयरन रॉड, then it is called electromagnet. A hollow cylindrical tube over which insulated wires are closely wound. Insulated are closely wound along its length. So, like if this is a cylinder, we usually take only for the long cylinder where length is quite large as compared to the radius. And there are wires. Yes, like this. So these are the wires which are very closely wound, and these are the wires which are very closely wound on the cylindrical axis, on the cylindrical tube. So each wire will have same current because it is nothing but the same current only, same wire but only coiled. So current I goes in, current I comes out. Total number of turns is capital N, the radius is R and length is N. So when we have to analyze whether we can apply the Ampere's law or not, we have to first figure out what is the shape. What is the shape of the magnetic field line? Length of solenoid is L, radius of solenoid is R. L and radius is R, which is length should be very, very large as compared to R. Only then we can apply this formula that we are going to. But one method is we can do the integration. This is little complicated, but yes, we can do. Second is we have to think whether we can apply the Ampere's law or not. So we have to find the symmetry. Right. So as you can see in this diagram, this solenoid, a long solenoid, a hollow cylinder, every loop produces its own magnetic field, and there are many loops placed side by side, side by side. So all of those magnetic field lines will join each other. A solenoid can be assumed as combination of multiple loops placed side by side on the axis. और किसी एक circular loop में current हो अगर the magnetic field due to one single loop axis पे तो by using right hand thumb rule ऊपर जाएंगे तो ये थोड़ी curve हो जाती है because magnetic field is always in the form of closed loop like this. So this is the shape of magnetic field line due to each turn or each loop. Similarly, there are next loop and third loop and loop side by side. All the loops magnetic field will be adding with to each other, and it will make a parallel lines in between. So overall magnetic field inside this solenoid. Inside, because it is almost like the parallel lines, so lines will join each other, and in between the magnetic field lines will be almost like a parallel lines. Only when we come on the closer to this, the magnetic field line starts slightly becoming curved. So at the ends of the solenoid, magnetic field will be close to the axis, close to the center. The magnetic field lines are in the form of parallel lines, and then it will be a closed loop outside. So inside this long solenoid, if we consider what is the shape, can we call it a symmetrical magnetic field? Is this a symmetrical magnetic field, Ashutosh? What is the meaning of symmetry in this context? What is the meaning of symmetry? Yes. हम्म ये मैग्नेटिक फील्ड सिमेट्रिकल दिख रही है नहीं दिख रही है? Obviously
Yes,
not.
sir.
Yes.
ये वाली
बेटे नहीं है बेटे, ये कहाँ से सिमेट्री है? Only and only at the center, only and only at the center ये constant दिख रही है because this is in the form of parallel lines. सिमेट्री तो क्या थी, जैसे सर्कल के हर एक पॉइंट पर हमने एक लूप लिया. The symmetry will be decided that if every point of that loop magnetic field value is same, magnitude wise it is same, then it will be called as symmetrical magnetic field. और but यहाँ पर कोई भी ऐसा शेप बनाओगे, whether you make a circle or you make a rectangle, at every point the density of magnetic field changes, therefore it is not a symmetrical magnetic field. Oh, only one thing is confirmed, that at the center magnetic field is constant or uniform. Just outside on the curved side it will be zero. So by observing the magnetic field line of a solenoid, one thing is sure: magnetic field at the center close to axis, magnetic field on the axis at the center is zero. Sorry, at the center is constant or uniform. Due to long solenoid, magnetic field at the axis close to center. This is the first point. Second point, magnetic field just outside the curved surface is zero. Magnetic field just outside the curved surface is zero. Third, magnetic field decreases from center. Magnetic field at the end of the solenoid is less than that at center. ये end तक आते आते वो curve हो जाती है. Magnetic field at the end of solenoid is less than that at center. So अब हम यूनिफॉर्म को कांस्टेंट या सिमेट्रिकल अज्यूम कर सकते हैं? एब्सोल्युटली, बिकॉज यूनिफॉर्म का मतलब कांस्टेंट. सो कोई भी ऐसा शेप यूज कर लें जैसे हमने यूज किया था इन दी infinite cylinder or infinite sheet or infinite plate for electric field. Consider any shape of loop which passes over the magnetic field line. So हम एम्पियर्स लॉ से केवल और केवल सोलेनॉइड के अंदर, वो भी केवल सेंटर की मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. मैग्नेटिक फील्ड at the center of long solenoid using Ampere's circuital law. राइट, एम्पियर सर्किटल लॉ से हम केवल उसके सेंटर पे एक्सेस के पास मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का फॉर्मूला पता कर सकते हैं, नॉट फॉर एनी अदर लूप. सो यूनिफॉर्म को हम सिमेट्रिकल अज्यूम कर लेंगे. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर एबल टू यूज द एम्पियर्स लॉ. अदरवाइज एम्पियर्स लॉ यूज करके हम मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का फॉर्मूला कैलकुलेट नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो हमने यहाँ पर क्या करना है, वी हैव टू चूज अ लूप which is passing over the magnetic field lines. जब मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लाइन के ठीक ऊपर से वो लूप पास होता है, only then it will have B and DL in the same direction. So this is the shape of magnetic field lines, almost like a parallel lines. So when we draw this loop, हमें इस लाइन के ठीक ऊपर से पास होना चाहिए और इसको क्लोज करना है. So it is a straight line. You can make a rectangle or you can make a square. To find the magnetic field, so we consider this loop PQRS. We consider this loop PQRS and P, and there is some loop, some wires will come inside. इसके अंदर जितने भी वायर्स आएंगे, हर एक वायर में से सेम करंट पास हो जाएगा because it is the same wire only, just coiled around. Consider rectangular loop PQRSP to apply this Ampere circuital law passing through the axis of the solenoid. Rectangular loop PQRSP. Passing through the axis of solenoid symmetrically. Symmetrically के लिए हमने आधा अंदर और आधा बाहर कर लिया. इतना टाइम क्यों हमने वेस्ट किया? समझने के लिए कि it is not as easy that we can apply anywhere Ampere circuital law. No, it will be decided by the shape. And when we draw the shape of magnetic field line, then we got that it is going to be only uniform. It is going to be uniform only inside, or uniform को हम constant assume कर सकते हैं because the value is same at every point. Symmetry का मतलब था कोई ऐसा shape use करना है जिसके हर एक point पे magnetic field की value is going to be same. Right? So apply the Ampere circuital law. क्या चाहिए हमें? We have to integrate V dot dl. Magnetic field की direction पता है, dl की direction हमने choose कर ली clockwise. So we are going from P to Q, then Q to R, R to S, और इसकी length है let's say X. Consider the length of this rectangular loop जो हमने consider किया, that length is X. Apply Ampere circuital law on this rectangular loop. Integration of V dot dl on P Q R S P is equal to mu naught times I. अब I कितना है? उसके लिए हमें अंदर चाहिए number of turns. Number of turns के लिए चाहिए number of turns per unit length. So number of turns हमें पता है और length पता है. So we calculate number of turns per unit length of a solenoid. Small n is capital N by L. यूनिट टर्न्स में, यूनिट लेंथ में टर्न्स है स्मॉल n. सो हमने लिया है रेक्टेंगल ऑफ लेंथ x, उसके अंदर नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स आ जाएंगे n into x. ईच टर्न हैज सेम करंट ऑफ I. ईच टर्न हैज सेम करंट ऑफ I. To apply PQRSP, we start from P and we come back to P by using the integration of the entire loop. Integrate from P to Q first, then Q to R, then R to S. Sir, just a minute. I was just using this Yeah. So we integrate from P to Q, then Q to R, then R to S, then S to P. So integration from P to Q of what? Of B dot dl. तो जब ये पूरा था लूप तब हमने इसमें एक सर्कल का साइन बनाया था. अभी हम पूरे पे एक साथ इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर सकते because it is not as symmetrical as that. We'll go from P to Q and then we go from Q to R, then we go from R to S, and then we go from S to P. इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ B dot dl from, अब इसमें हम सर्कल का साइन नहीं लगाएंगे because this is not for the entire loop. This is only from P to Q. Then integrate B dot dl from Q to R. Then integrate R to S B dot dl, and then plus S to P B dot dl is equal to mu naught nx times I. नीचे number of turns nx, current in each turn is I. It becomes mu naught nx I. B into dl into cos 0 PQ के लिए. जब QR पे जाएंगे तो क्या है डिफरेंस? B and DL are perpendicular to each other. B and DL are 90 degree. So cos 90 will become 0. When we go outside, just outside there was no magnetic field, so RS पे 0. Again when you go from S to B, outside जब तक है तब तक कोई magnetic field ही नहीं है. अंदर जाएंगे तो perpendicular. So all these terms will become 0. Mu naught nx times I. The magnetic field produced by a long solenoid at the center of this, at the center or at close to the axis is given. So इसमें B is uniform constant है, DL को बाहर निकालो, B को बाहर निकालेंगे, बचेगा integration of DL, that is B into X. Integration of DL is equal to mu naught Ni and X into I. DL अभी इसमें हम इंटीग्रेशन में सर्कल नहीं लगाएंगे because it is only from P to Q, और PQ का इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो लेंथ आ जाएगा, that will become X. X gone. Magnetic field at the center is mu naught Ni. Small n is the number of turns. X is X तो cancel out हो गया. Magnetic field at the center of long solenoid is coming out to be mu naught nx into I. Mu naught n into I. Small n is constant, number of turns constant, I is current constant. So इसकी वैल्यू कांस्टेंट है और it is a uniform for any given, it is uniform for any given magnetic field. Minus 5/2. But since there is already a question, so I asked you to form it. 270. Yeah. Some students have come offline, so for practice, self practice. B is equal to mu naught Ni. हमने magnetic field का formula calculate कर दिया. Inside a long solenoid, magnetic field is B is equal to mu naught Ni at the axis of a long solenoid at the center. जब हम end पे आ जाते हैं, at the end of a solenoid, this is at the center. At the ends of a long solenoid, magnetic field become exactly half. It is mu naught and I by 2. अगर हमें बीच के किसी पॉइंट पे निकालना हो, सेंटर तक पहुंचते मैग्नेटिक फील्ड आधी हो जाती है, इट बिकम रिड्यूस टू हाफ. सेंटर पे म्यू नॉट Ni और एंड पे म्यू नॉट Ni by 2. सपोज वी कैलकुलेट एट सम पॉइंट इन बिटवीन. Alpha and beta. What is the magnetic field formula at any general point? At any general point, how do we calculate this? जैसे हमने कुछ एक सिंपल सा फॉर्मूला किया था फॉर अ फाइनाइट लेंथ ऑफ वायर, वैसे इंटीग्रेट करना चाहे तो करेंगे कैसे? लेट्स एनी पॉइंट वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट। इस पूरी लेंथ में एक dx लेंथ का छोटा सा पार्ट कंसीडर कर लेंगे, वी विल कंसीडर दिस एज अ रिंग ऑफ dx, और उसकी वजह से मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कैलकुलेट करेंगे ऑन द एक्सिस। dx में कितने नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स होंगे? स्मॉल n इनटू dx। तो सेंटर से एक डिस्टेंस पे dx थिकनेस का हमने एक छोटा सा कोई लूप ले लिया, उसके एक्सिस पे ये फॉर्मूला बन जाएगा। मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का जो फॉर्मूला हमने किया था फॉर अ लॉन्ग सोलेनोइड, म्यू नॉट आई आर स्क्वायर डिवाइड बाय 2 टाइम्स आर स्क्वायर प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर टू द पावर 3/2। इसी को इंटीग्रेट कर लेते हैं। इंटीग्रेट करेंगे इसको कहां से? फ्रॉम माइनस एल बाई टू प्लस एल बाई टू, तो हमें सेंटर में मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का जो फॉर्मूला है वो म्यू नॉट एन आई मिल जाएगा। बट हम इस तरीके से इसको इंटीग्रेट करेंगे नहीं, बिकॉज इट विल बी अ क्वाइट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड इंटीग्रल। अदर फॉर्मूला क्या है? म्यू नॉट एन आई बाई टू b is mu naught n I by 2 sin alpha plus sin beta। जब अब इसमें अल्फा बीटा को 90 90 पुट कर दोगे तो लॉन्ग सोलेनोइड के लिए सेंटर बन जाएगा। इसमें अल्फा को 0 बीटा को 90 पुट कर दोगे तो वो लॉन्ग सोलेनोइड का एंड पॉइंट बन जाएगा। और बीच के किसी पॉइंट पे निकालना है तो हम अल्फा बीटा की वैल्यू अकॉर्डिंगली वी विल सब्स्टिट्यूट टू फाइंड दी। इसी को अगर हम इंटीग्रेशन करके कैलकुलेट करना चाहें तो हम पूरे सोलेनोइड के एक्सिस पे एक छोटी सी dx थिकनेस की रिंग ले लेंगे। रिंग के लिए मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऑन द एक्सिस ऑफ अ रिंग वी डिराइव्ड mu naught ni r square upon 2 r square plus x square to the power 3/2, and then we can integrate this from minus l by 2 to plus l by 2. This is the formula for long solenoid at the center, at the end, and at a general point. So I can see its graph also. B versus X for a long solenoid. Center पे magnetic field is constant. End पे आते हुए थोड़ी डिक्रीज है। For a long solenoid close to the center, close to the axis, it is always constant. It's equals to 0, और end पर आते आते इसकी वैल्यू पहले की हाफ हो जाती है। So if it is mu naught n I, now it becomes mu naught n I by 2. Right? Okay. This is solenoid. Similarly, another arrangement in which solenoid is joined end to end. सोलेनोइड के अंदर ही अगर हम आयरन कोर रख देते हैं तो इसके अंदर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाती है, एंड दैट बिकम अ magnetic magnet called as electromagnet. Next is toroid. Toroid is another geometry which we can in a way understand as endless solenoid. Endless solenoid मतलब हम solenoid के दोनों ends को आपस में join कर दें, then the shape obtained is called toroid. So it is a hollow cylindrical tube only, but it is in the form of a ring. a hollow cylindrical tube in the form of ring. Over which again insulated wires are closely wound. Along its circumference. On its circumference, when we so it's nothing but the same as a solenoid. Only the wires will be along its circumference. Right. So solenoid के दोनों end को आपस में ज्वाइन कर देते हैं. That is one way of understanding it. अगर solenoid के दोनों ends को आपस में ज्वाइन कर देंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? Yes. So there is a magnetic field, that is a magnetic field inside, जो पहले पैरेलल लाइंस के फॉर्म में थी अब वो सर्कुलर रिंग्स के फॉर्म में आ जाएंगी, and all of those will be parallel to each other like in the form of, so अंदर जो black line है, this is now representing the magnetic field lines. Total number of turns n, but in the case of toroid there will be two radii always because it has some thickness. Inner radius is r1, outer radius is r2. जहां पर हम मैग्नेटिक फील्ड निकाल रहे हैं इनके बीच में उसकी एवरेज रेडियस हो जाएगी r1 plus r2/2. Total number of turns same as the solenoid, is capital N only. The inner radius r1, outer radius is r2. Mean radius of the toroid, जहां पर जिसको हम inside toroid बोल रहे हैं, is equal to r1 plus r2/2. Correct? अब इसमें मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कैलकुलेट करने के लिए वी कैन स्टिल अप्लाई द एम्पियर सर्किट लॉ बिकॉज दिस सिमेट्रिकल लूप, इसके अंदर हर एक पॉइंट पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, इसके हर एक पॉइंट पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड सेम है. इट विल सेम एट एवरी पॉइंट. सो वहां से पास होने वाला एक सर्कुलर लूप कंसीडर करेंगे. दिस डॉटेड लाइन इज एग्जैक्टली ऑन द टॉप ऑफ द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. All the loops are passing through it. All the loops जो भी अंदर की तरफ है, they all are coming through it. और सभी में current है I, so total number of current that is coming will be n times I. The total number of current or total current passing through it is Ni. R is the radius. Apply B dot dl. Apply Ampere's law on this circle of radius R. B dot dl is mu naught I and I becomes 10. By symmetry, B is same at every point again. Magnetic field हर जगह पे same है magnitude wise, but it is changing in direction tangentially. V into dl is 2 pi r is mu naught n times I. Magnetic field inside a solenoid, inside a toroid, is mu naught n I divided by 2 pi r. तो ये फॉर्मूला सोलेनॉइड के जैसा ही है, बस लिखा क्यों डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट में है, क्यों? अगर हम कैपिटल N अपॉन 2 पाई आर देखें तो क्या बन गया, ये कैपिटल N इज टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स एंड 2 पाई आर इज टोटल लेंथ, इट बिकम स्मॉल n को हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पर भी नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स पर यूनिट लेंथ, नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स पर यूनिट। Magnetic field due to toroid is not uniform, क्यों? क्योंकि डायरेक्शन चेंज हो रही है, but it is constant in magnitude. अंदर भी जीरो है और बाहर भी जीरो है। Inside this tube and outside also the magnetic field is zero. In between there is a uniform magnetic field is of constant magnitude. Magnetic field is constant magnitude. So we cannot call it a uniform magnetic field. Like in the case of solenoid, we can say inside solenoid magnetic field is uniform. But inside toroid, magnetic field is of constant magnitude, but it is not a uniform magnetic field as in the case of solenoid. So these are the cases for which the magnetic field is derived or can be found using the Ampere circuital law, infinite thin wire, infinite hollow wire, infinitely long solid wire. For all these cases, we can calculate magnetic field by using Ampere circuital law also. अब इसी में अगर suppose magnetic current density become variable, current density is a function of R or something, then we have to do the application of integration to find the total current passing. That's it. Rest everything is same. Formula wise, it will be same. Formula wise, it will be same. That means the formula of magnetic field is going to be same. So हमने magnetic field के सारे cases कर लिए हैं, magnetic field calculate करने वाले सारे cases कर लिए। Next we will do the force due to magnetic field. Oh. So Ampere circuital law से हम किसी भी symmetrical magnetic field के understood. These are the derivation. अभी हमने question नहीं किए हैं, questions from some of the DPPs. I think we have shared some of the questions from the DPP. Yeah. अब आते हैं हम फोर्स पे। तो पहले कॉन्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, क्वेश्चंस वी विल डू लेटर ऑन। दी मैग्नेटिक फोर्स क्यों लगेगा जब भी किसी एक सोर्स में दूसरा सोर्स आ जाए, लाइक देयर इज अ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट, another source of magnetic field enters into that external magnetic field, it start experiencing a force. So magnetic field के सोर्स कौन कौन से थे? मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के सोर्स थे मूविंग चार्ज। तो अगर मूविंग चार्ज किसी एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के अंदर आएगा तो उस पे फोर्स लगेगा। दूसरा सोर्स था करंट कैरिंग वायर, इफ करंट कैरिंग वायर is present in any magnetic field, then it experiences a force. So next is magnetic force on a moving charge in external magnetic field. In external magnetic. एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में जैसे कोई चार्ज एंटर करेगा, it will also produce its own magnetic field, and because of that it will experience a force. So let's say this is the magnetic field, a constant uniform magnetic field directed towards I. In this field, a charged particle enters. Charged particle enters at an angle theta with magnetic field direction with velocity v. So magnetic field के direction में, in the direction of external magnetic field, कौन सा वाला component field produce करेगा? Like we saw that if charged particle moves, it produces magnetic field in the perpendicular component, in the perpendicular direction. So if you resolve this, there are two components, v cos theta and v sin theta. V cos theta is parallel to magnetic field and v sin theta is perpendicular to magnetic field. V cos theta is the one which produces magnetic field. So V cos theta is parallel to magnetic field. V cos theta की magnetic field external field की direction में नहीं होगी, so there will not be any magnetic force due to V sin theta due to V cos theta component, that is a parallel component. External field की direction में कौन से component की magnetic field produce होगी? That will be V sin theta. So magnetic force on this charge is due to that velocity component which is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So it is Q into V sin theta because that is the perpendicular. So it is proportional to the charge. Magnitude of charge, it is proportional to the perpendicular component of velocity, and it is perpendicular to the magnitude of magnetic field. Greater magnetic field, more will be the force. More charge, more will be the force. And similarly, greater velocity in perpendicular direction, perpendicular component, more will be the magnetic force. QVB sin theta, or we can write this as QV perpendicular magnetic force. M stands here for magnetic force. It's not necessary to write it. It is because of the perpendicular component. So force acting on the charged particle QVB sin theta. लॉजिक समझ में आ गया होगा शायद. Why not V cos theta? Because V cos theta की magnetic field external field की direction में नहीं आएगी. So these two will not interact or they will not exert force.
Sir, FM now. Magnetic force.
Yes, M is written in the above to specify this is because of magnetic field, but is a force. So yes, F is QVB sin theta. That F is understood. It is force due to magnetic field. Magnetic field. So under what condition it will not have force? Suppose if the charged particle does not, if the particle does not have charge. So if Q is 0, then it will not have charge. Second, if the charged particle comes at rest, if suddenly it stops, velocity will become 0, force will become 0. Third, if suppose theta becomes 0 or theta becomes 180, so charged particle moves parallel to magnetic field or opposite to the magnetic field direction. In both the cases, it will not experience the magnetic force. If it does not experience magnetic force, so there is no acceleration, there is no change in velocity. It will continue moving in the same direction under the theta 0 and theta 180 condition. If theta is 0 degree and theta is 180 degree, means charged particle is entering parallel or charged particle is moving anti-parallel. In both the cases, the charged particle does not experience any kind of force. वेक्टर फॉर्म में इसको हम लिख सकते हैं q v क्रॉस b in vector form because ab sin theta, again this is already known, as it is already known. The force direction F is equal to Q into V cross B. A cross B is AB sin theta. Fine. QV cross B, it is again already known from the direction that the force is along V cross B for a positive charge. Negative charge होगा तो Q की value negative put करेंगे, it will come out in opposite direction. AB sin theta is A cross B. So from this formula, we get that direction of the force is along V cross B. Along the cross product of V cross B, if charge is positive, or it will be opposite to it. V sin theta ही क्यों लिया हमने? क्योंकि केवल उसी कंपोनेंट की मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की डायरेक्शन में आएगी जिससे दोनों के बीच में फोर्स एक्सर्ट होगा. Because of V cos theta, there won't be any magnetic field which can interact with the external field. So V cos theta does not apply any force as it is parallel to it. Maximum force will be acting on this particle when theta is 90 degrees. If theta is 0, that charge particle is parallel to magnetic field, and theta is 180, charge particle is opposite. So if charge particle moves, it is parallel to magnetic field, theta 0. If charge particle goes opposite to it, then also it does not have any force. If it does not have any force, means it goes undeviated along the same path. So that is how we also differentiate between the electric field and magnetic field. This was also a question asked in objective. How will you differentiate whether a field is electric or magnetic field? By reversing the direction of field. अगर field की direction reverse करने पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, then that is magnetic field. If on reversing, जैसे electric field की direction में अगर है, then it will be accelerated. It will continue moving in a straight line, but it will be accelerated. Similarly, if a charged particle is moving opposite to electric field, there will be retardation, and because of that retardation, it will have a force acting upon it, and it will be stopped after some time and then reverted back. Then it will come back along the same path. Okay, I think it's clear. जब हम electric field लगाएंगे, electric field के case में, when it is in the same direction, it will continue moving along the same path but increasing velocity. If it is a negative charge और electric field में move कर रही है तो क्या होगा? If it is a negative charge in the direction of electric field, if the negative charge is moving, then it will have a retardation, and due to retardation it will stop and revert back. So if on reversing the field, charge particle slows down and change its direction after some time, then it will be a electric field. If it continues moving along the same direction, then it will be magnetic field. Perpendicular के लिए theta 90 होगा, and then it will be the maximum. So maximum force will be acting when the charge particle enters perpendicular. फाइन. सो अब हम मैग्नेटिक फोर्स की थोड़ी प्रॉपर्टी देख लेते हैं, देन वी विल सी द डायरेक्शन ऑन द बोर्ड. Direction of magnetic force, how do we calculate? For positive charge only, negative charge के लिए या तो हम opposite कर देंगे या फिर हम velocity को opposite कर देंगे. So first method is using the right hand rule. Right hand rule uses that you use the first along the vector v cross b. किसी भी क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट को कैलकुलेट करने के लिए we can use that method. फर्स्ट वेक्टर की डायरेक्शन में हैंड रखते हैं. Place your hand in the direction of first vector like here and curl it towards the second vector. So magnetic field is towards right, curl it towards right. Turn your right hand finger from the first vector to second vector. V to B. So this is the right hand rule. Use your right hand, place in the direction of first vector and curl it toward the second vector. The magnetic field will be the magnetic forces into the plane. ये हम लिख चुके हैं पहले, इसलिए मैं लिख नहीं रहा हूँ. If you want to write, you can just understand it. Want to write, you can write. अगर सपोज ये नेगेटिव चार्ज है और पॉजिटिव चार्ज, देन इट विल बी अपोजिट टू इट, देन इट विल बी माइनस ऑफ v क्रॉस b. सभी मैं इसको बोर्ड पे, आई थिंक आई विल शो इट इन बोर्ड हाउ टू यूज. फर्स्ट इज द राइट हैंड रूल. Second method which we will be using, which will prefer using the Fleming's left hand rule. Using the Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule suggests that if you stretch the first three finger of left hand, such that start from the index finger. If index finger represent magnetic field, middle finger represent positive charge velocity or opposite to the negative charge velocity, then thumb represent the direction of magnetic force. Stretch first three finger of left hand perpendicular to each other such that index finger is towards the magnetic field. Index finger is towards magnetic field. Middle finger is towards the positive charge velocity or opposite to the negative charge velocity. Towards the velocity of positive charge or opposite to negative charge. Then thumb gives the direction of force. That is how the Fleming's left hand rule is applied. Or palm rule can also be applied, but palm rule में क्या कर देते हैं हम? Stretch your right hand palm. Stretch your right hand palm such that thumb is in the direction of velocity and fingers are stretched towards magnetic field. Perpendicular to palm slab is magnetic field. Correct. So Fleming's left hand rule में पहले first finger start with the index finger, order should be same, then middle finger, and then thumb will be pointing in the direction of magnetic force acting on that charge particle. और ऐसे बहुत सारे रूल है, but we'll be using this positive charge के लिए V cross B by using the right hand cross product, right hand rule. Okay, good. Carry on. Till 8:30. Okay, fine. Index finger, magnetic field. Middle finger is the direction of positive charge velocity or opposite to the negative charge velocity, and then thumb will represent the direction of force. So thumbs की properties देख लेते हैं. Direction maybe next class I will show it on the board when some of you will be available offline as well. Properties of magnetic force क्या है? Since this formula is given as Q into V cross P, magnetic force is Q into V cross P. Cross product is always perpendicular to both the vector A cross B. It is perpendicular to A and B. So magnetic force is perpendicular to both velocity as well as magnetic field vector, right? So I think we will start. We'll continue from here in the next class, Wednesday. And now please don't miss Friday classes. Friday class will be for syllabus completion only. It won't be right.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
हाँ बेटा,
सर एक बार पहली स्लाइड दिखा दो आज की.
आज की पहले slide. Just revision of the first few concepts of this chapter.
Yes, sir. सर सेकंड वाली स्लाइड दिखाना है एक बार. मुझे check करना है.
Infinite long wire, hollow infinite long wire, solid wire.
तो ये फ्राइडे वाला आपने शुरुआत में डिस्कस करा था ना.
हाँ, ये जो हमने फ्राइडे पढ़ा था, ये just I revised for you so that you can get idea. आप recording देख लेना, आपको थोड़ा सा ठीक है. चलो, okay then.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.